All right, we are installing the rear inner fenders for the 2018 or newer JLU. All the parts that it came with, backing plates, came with a set of instructions, and came with some hardware. And we're going to get them installed. A few tools you're going to need for the install: trim remover tool. This is a 4mm Allen, 11mm socket with a ratchet, and then also an 11mm open-end box wrench to be able to get behind when you're installing the nuts. Let's get going. All right, we've got the rear OEM liner out of this one already, just for quickness of the video, but it has 3 tabs. You're gonna pull those out with a trim tool remover, and then you're gonna end up ripping the inner liner out of the actual stock fender if you're keeping that. If you're not keeping the stock fender, you'll remove all these clips and pull the whole actual fender off. But for now, we are keeping the OEM fender. We just removed the stock liner. All right, after you get your fender liners and stock fenders off, the next part is to install the backing plates. There's 1 on each side. They're just 4 of the smaller bolts, nuts that came with it, and then washers for the front and the back. Get them installed and move on to the next part. All right, then when you're on the driver's side, to put these nut clips on, there is a very front tab right here. That is not the one on the passenger side. It's actually covered up by some tubes. So it'll be this one here and this one, and then again, you're not going to do anything in the back one. So it's just the middle two that you're going to put those nut clips on. All right, so we're on the driver's side, and we've got the main middle panel, and we are putting it, the 2 holes that are in the middle, on the middle panel, getting it started into those nut clips we just inserted on the driver's side. All right, so one tip I highly recommend is for all the parts that you have to screw these bolts into, pre-screw them through once or twice to loosen up the thread or any of the texture that might have gotten on the thread. That way, when you're actually assembling it underneath, it's a whole lot easier to put the bolts in. So, pro tip. All right, on the driver's side, we've got the small skinny triangle piece is the rear here. We're going to use 2 bolts and 2 washers to get that mounted, and then we're going to do the same for the front section of it. All right, the way that this top section, it goes between outside the body and in between the factory fender, if you have that. So you'll have to work that in. All right, so we're on the passenger side now. You'll need to put in the nut clips on the very back here, 2, 3, and then 4 right where this Z bracket goes. So when you put this in, put it in so it stays about horizontal, but yet loose where you can manipulate it a little bit to get the panel to screw to. And now we're going to put the main panel in.
I love it.
All right, so we got the back panel in, the front panel connected, and now we're going to get the top put in and then also get it attached to the Z bracket that's back here behind this front section. And here is the passenger side installed.